Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to announce our new sponsor, Mesa Modern Mexican. When you go mention the B Team podcast, tell them that us two sent you. And also, you'll get 10% off any entrees. Mesa also hosts happy hour Monday to Friday, 4 to 6, and also a reverse happy hour Fridays and Saturdays, 9:30 to 10:30. And plus, obviously, I work there, so I will be slinging drinks like the Jets are going to sling opposing teams' W's. It's inevitable. So come to Mesa, come get some good entrees, some good drinks, and have a good time.
You know, Mesa is just like the greatest spot to watch a game. One, you get to look at Mikey Panda Bear.
Yeah.
Two, the food's fantastic. Salsa's great. Guac's even better.
I know.
The drinks are phenomenal. Get Mikey making you a margarita while you get 10% off your entree. You really can't beat it on a good Sunday football game. Start this Sunday. Why not?
Yeah.
You know? Start this Sunday.
Come on this Sunday. Let me make you my specialties. Let's have a good time. Let's hang out.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Enjoy the show.
How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the B Team. It is Super Bowl 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Good games yesterday. I mean, one was a very good game up until around halfway. The other one, very good throughout the entire game. Ended up at the end not really being what I would say America wants, but it gives us a good Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Chiefs. Before we get into the show, let's do a little housekeeping here, Mike. First, I just want to get this out of the way. Yes, I am wearing an Eagles jersey. Greg, you probably think you're going to make fun of me. It's not going to happen. I'm with you. Cowboys suck. We lost. I've been meaning to do this, and now that the Eagles, I was hoping it would happen on a week that the Eagles lost and got knocked out. Not the case. You guys made the Super Bowl, so I decided to do it today in honor of you guys for making the Cowboys a mockery once again, season after season. We continue to do this for a decade.
Did you lose a bet or something?
Remember when Ethan came on the show and we shook on it? I was like, if the Cowboys win in whatever week we played them, he would have to wear a Cowboys jersey next time he came on the show. Mm-hmm. But if they lost, I had to wear an Eagles jersey. So,
dude,
I am repping
timing.
Yeah, I'm wearing Michael Vick. Michael Vick, legend in the community. New Norfolk State head coach.
Yeah,
he's back. So
love it.
That is why I am wearing the Eagles jersey. Just getting that one right out of the way. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
It doesn't look right.
No,
it doesn't.
I feel fast.
Yes,
I feel real fast.
Big dog guy.
But the bigger housekeeping, Mesa. We have signed a sponsorship deal with Mesa. Great restaurant.
Yeah.
Great restaurant. Great food. Great entrees.
And I work there.
From here on out through the rest of the year into next season, if you're looking for your place to watch games, watch baseball, basketball, football, if you want to go get a good margarita from Mikey Meatball over here, you know,
Dodgeball.
Just make it happen. Get there. Get your entrees. They got great food. Mike, go through the entrees for us.
10% off mac and queso, grilled steak, vegetarian enchiladas, regular chicken enchiladas, fantastic, by the way, shrimp and scallop, pork relleno. There's so many things. If you want just your typical burrito bowl, like from Chipotle, but 10 times better, head on over to Mesa, dude. And come see me. You get 10% off. It's so worth it. So go to Mesa, mention the B Team podcast, and just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the discount. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the drinks. Enjoy the atmosphere. And enjoy the moment.
All right.
Mesa Modern Mexican, baby.
Yes. So when you go to Mesa Modern Mexican in Easton, Pennsylvania, right there off the good old circle down there, make sure you say the B Team sent you, and they will give you 10% off your entrees today, tomorrow, and the rest of 2025. Now, last bit of housekeeping. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mikey. Happy birthday to you. Let's go, Mike. Let's go. What a day.
Come on, man.
Happy birthday,
what a Monday.
brother. You feel old?
A little bit.
Oh, that's fine.
No, I feel the same, but just it's another year. You know, age is just a number.
Just a number.
Just a number. That's it at the end of the day.
Yep.
But we are getting close to the 30, which is fucking crazy.
Yep.
But thankful. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for you, for the pod, everyone that supports us. I'm thankful for all y'all, family, and everything, man. I'm very, very grateful. 100%.
Absolutely.
Made it another year. Haven't got arrested, and
It's positive.
not in jail. So we're doing good. We're doing good.
Absolutely. I don't want to bring you saying that just brought this to my mind. Layman posted his daughters in Eagles gear yesterday, which I texted him and he said there's no way in hell they're going to be Eagles fans. But it kind of it got me thinking. Those two were born less than, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, whatever it was. And they're seeing their team go to a Super Bowl. And you and I are sitting here.
Like an asshole.
Almost 30.
Yeah.
And never seen our team go to one Super Bowl. It's crazy, Mike. The Eagles fans got no idea how lucky they are.
What did we do to deserve this?
Nothing.
I just don't get all right. Like you're a Yanks fan, so you've seen your fair share of stuff.
That's what I mean.
But you're mostly in the dumps like I am. I mean, the Sixers have been irrelevant for pretty much our whole existence.
Sixers and Flyers had like 1 or 2 years in my lifetime, but really nothing.
Just nothing.
There's nothing to write home about. They don't win.
The Sixers.
Like Liverpool's given me some good years here down the stretch.
They have.
Have
they won a Champions League?
Yep.
They have. Okay.
Multiple in their lifetime.
Dude, that's fantastic.
So like Liverpool's got it done for me.
Yes.
The Yankees, they got it done.
They've gotten it done.
They got it done. They almost got it done this year, but realistically, the Dodgers are just ridiculous. So never a chance.
But then the Sixers,
Sixers. I mean, I
done.
haven't watched the game since the female referee had to apologize to all of our players for kicking them all out. That was the last game I watched because I was like, this is a shit show. I'm not doing this.
They've won 3 straight.
It has nothing to do with her being a female, but it was the female referee who kicked out all of our players basically, and they all came back into the game and she apologized.
They've won 3 straight. Funny enough, I've watched the last 3 games.
Sixers?
Yes, I have.
Have they won?
Yes, they've
Sick,
won 3
dude.
straight.
Is Embiid playing?
No.
Yeah,
Typical.
There you go.
Trade him. But Tyrese Maxey, what a nail that was. I mean, what a diamond in the rough where you found him in the draft, and he has just been absolutely dominant for you guys. So
the Sixers got to ride McCain and him to the promised land. I mean, look at the league nowadays. You just got to go with the guards, let them shoot some threes until the league takes away that 3-point line, which I have a feeling they might sometime, or at least push it back. I mean, you got to ride that greatness that they've got going on right there, and then just get like a Jared Allen, Get someone that can get you 15 to 20 boards a game and just kick it out for threes the whole time. And do exactly what the Cavs are doing. And I think we have better guards than the Cavs, and we'd be a better version of the Cavs. And you'll have a chance at making a run. But Boston's really good.
Yeah.
Boston's
the
really
Sixers,
good.
Listen, I don't really watch as much basketball as a lot of the average fan does, but I've heard and I've probably watched the Sixers probably more than any other team, including my team. I mean, I don't think Embiid is the answer.
Oh, not anymore.
I know, but I think you guys are too late on it now. I mean, I've been calling it for years, ever since Abe had that video, and I was always with him. I think he is just not the answer, and I think you can get value off of him even when he does play. And then, I don't know, don't make it like... It doesn't have to be like a hero ball. It doesn't have to be special. Just get a good, fundamentally sound offense. The Cavs are a great example right now.
Yeah.
But like the Nets are doing that. They're gathering a lot of picks like OKC, and look at them. They're first in the West. You just got to hit them.
That's fine. But like people say we should have moved off Embiid like well before this. All right, if we move off Embiid, we literally don't have Maxey. So we would have lost every game, which fine, whatever. We get a high draft pick. But with Embiid, we made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we were able to get out of the first round. Like, he's made it happen to an extent by himself. I mean, Ben Simmons was ass cheeks. That's what it is. And I don't like his interviews because it sounds like he wants to come back.
Yeah.
Don't like that at all. Don't like that at all. But
the guy ran out of the city.
Everyone's like, oh, you should have moved off Embiid this year. We didn't have anyone besides Embiid on those teams. Like, what were we supposed to do? Just get rid of the whole team? Like, it makes no sense. We did that for years, and we got in trouble by the league. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do?
I don't know where they go from here.
I think it's ridiculous. I think Embiid will still come. Embiid's never going to leave. He's never going to leave. He's going to be there forever. I think the only thing that's going to change is eventually his contract will start depleting. And, you're going to ride Maxey out. He's going to carry you. You got Jared McCain coming back next year. Him getting injured really screwed up my Rookie of the Year bet.
It's looking good.
And then, dude, honestly, bring back Ben Simmons. If we're going to be a shit show, let's bring back Ben Simmons, play him as a stretch 3 or 4, and have him and Embiid down in the post just working together. They got that chemistry. They might hate each other, but they got chemistry. And then you got You got Jared McCain and Maxey on the perimeter. Bring in an actual. I just found out that Paul George wasn't Tobias. Had no clue. Same contract, same haircut. Just found that one out this week. And then just go get an actual 3. Jimmy Butler wants out. Bring him back. Fuck it. Who cares? If we're going to be a shit show, let's be the shit show.
Yeah, let's at least try to be a shit show.
Get Jimmy Butler. Bring Ben Simmons. Get Embiid in the post, and then have Maxey McCain. Watch us win a NBA championship like that. That would be hilarious. Have no subs. I think I don't want subs.
Embiid is just gonna get run out of Philly, bro. I got a weird feeling. I think they're so tired of just his injury history and his drive to play basketball. They're gonna run him out.
Mike, you know why he's never gonna get run out? Because every time you think he's going to get run out,
comes back.
The Phillies go to the World Series or the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. And what did the Eagles do this year? They went to the Super Bowl. Not one fan's going to give a shit about what Embiid's doing right now. They don't even know that the Sixers are playing right now. They have no clue.
It's all about the birds.
You just told me they won 3 times. I'm not even an Eagles fan, and I guarantee you there's Eagles fans that are like, oh, shit, we're on a 3-game win streak? Fuck,
they're buying back in. Yeah.
No, they have no one. We don't know anything about the Sixers this year because no one's actually that invested in them because there's no expectations.
That fan base is so funny, bro, because it's like I feel like the majority of Philadelphia.
If the Sixers win 10 games in a row, there's going to be parties in Philadelphia because we're going to the NBA championship.
Did you see the video of Broad Street? Get like the top view of Broad Street last night. Man.
Yeah, I didn't like that. You want to get into that game? Let's
Yes,
talk about the game. Let's get into the football. Eagles versus Commanders. Eagles win in very decisive fashion. What was it 55 to like 23,
Yep.
22, something like that? Let's talk about that on Broadway. Didn't like it. Not because I'm a Cowboys fan. I just feel like, are we a little too excited at this point? We've seen this before with the Philly fans.
Job's not finished.
They get a little too excited. Job's not finished.
Job's
Kobe
not
Bryant,
finished.
R.I.P. Guys, we got to settle it down, Take a step back. I didn't like Jalen Hurts lighting a cigar like he just won a national championship. You didn't win anything yet. We've done this before. Yeah, you broke the curse. We'll get into that in a second. But you didn't do anything yet.
Break the curse.
Let's all settle down. Yeah, let's have a celebratory beer. Let's not burn the city down yet. Let's not be climbing poles. I saw a little kid get arrested last night. Let's not be doing this. We have more to play for. We got 2 weeks.
The next Rizzler.
Let's not burn ourselves out. Yeah.
Definitely the next Rizzler.
Let's not burn ourselves out here. We got bigger things ahead. I didn't like it. I don't know what your thoughts were on it.
I just see that, and maybe I'm not trying to be a hater or anything, because probably if the Jets did it too, I'm always like, what's the point?
No, but
like, do you just go out on the street and just rip ELGSESSLXQ chants like the whole time? Like, are you just so drunk that you just have to be outside and just? Yes. I mean, because all right, when we were at Westchester, like we kind of endured the same thing. Like I was at a buddy's
but that was
house,
when they won it,
and they won it.
They
but like,
won it.
Listen, I respect. That fan base is so passionate. I respect them going out and just celebrating and twerking on vehicles.
I saw
my
that.
God.
Oh, dude.
How do you think she spells Eagles?
EGLX Eagles, bitch.
What a wild. I mean, listen, beautiful scenes out in Philadelphia. I can't lie. That is, the fan base is so passionate, and they deserve it. I mean, that team is, they're doing exactly what they have to do. They're having fun at the end of the day.
Yes.
Let them have it.
At the end of the game, I actually texted a group chat with a ton of Eagles fans in it, and I said, I hate that this is occurring, but I am happy for y'all that you get to experience championships. I followed it up with, I've had all these Liverpool championships while you guys were down bad. I was celebrating in the streets while you guys were all crying in the streets. It's good that you're getting your moment.
Was it hard to find another Liverpool fan to celebrate with? Did you have to walk like, I don't know, 5 blocks? A mile maybe?
Japina.
Oh, Japina.
Yeah. There's more Liverpool fans.
Did you have to call and be like, hey, we should like meet outside and like start cheering for Liverpool?
I actually have, dude, I'll find the picture. I actually went to Liberty High School in a crazy Liverpool outfit.
This is the thing though, real quick. They don't, like you guys, or I wouldn't even say you, but they don't understand how lucky they are to be able to be in a community. Like I know Greg has come on the podcast and been like, oh, the Bengals are on, the Browns are on. Like, yes, Lehigh Valley is very diverse when it's fan base on what teams. Like obviously you're a Boys fan, I'm a Jets fan, but when you're in Philadelphia and the whole city Nice. In the auxiliary gym
with
Love
a flag. I had a flag.
That looks like a Facebook profile picture.
I had the flagpole.
Can you show the camera that? That looks like a Facebook profile picture, like the emojis, like my stats for truth is,
Dude,
like
I
date or
got the
pass.
I have a Gerard jersey on, the retro jacket, a scarf, and a Liverpool flag.
I respect it. And there were probably some teachers that were like, all right, we got an actual fan here.
All right, guys, real quick break from the show. Mesa Modern Mexican. Go to the Cantilla. It's time to get yourself a margarita from Mikey. When you go there, we have a nice little special offer for you. They are going to give you 10% off your entree if you mention the B Team podcast. So get over there, not just on a Sunday, go on a Monday, go on a Tuesday. Make it an everyday thing. Go there for lunch. Do it 3-4 times a week. Take the kids out. You know, you work all week, take a load off, go get 10% on the B Team. When you go there, say to your waitress, say to your bartender, say to the manager, say to your friends. Spread the good word of the B Team. Tell them the B Team podcast sent you. Tell them Mikey sent you. When you see them there, don't just walk by like a stranger. Say hello to him. Tell them Colin sent you. I'm probably not going to be there every day because I'm working here putting out good content for all of you. While I'm on the topic, subscribe. Go to Mesa Modern Mexican, Easton, PA. Great food, great prices. Get yourself 10% off today mentioning the B Team. Back to the show.
You know how lucky they are? Like, dude, if the Jets ever made the Super Bowl, where am I going? Like, I can't just go out the streets here and just be celebrating. Dude, everyone's going to be like, shut up, I got work tomorrow.
We should.
Oh, yeah, I definitely
If
would.
the Jets or the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl, we should go to downtown Bethlehem and start marching up and down the street, just yelling.
We might get so much hate. You probably would get the hate. I would be like, oh, dude, look at this miserable fan. He finally did it.
I thought it was crazy that yesterday I was getting no hate.
Well, there was no Cowboys attire on you.
I had Bills stuff on, but I was very clearly making fun of Eagles fans the whole second
I think
half.
they were just gone.
All right, let's talk about this game.
Come on.
Eagles Commanders. So Hurts breaks the curse. He breaks the curse. First quarterback to go to the Super Bowl his first time, lose, and then make it back to a Super Bowl.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The curse has been broken.
You did it. You did it. Do I think it should count? No.
Job's not finished.
No, not because of that. I don't think it should count because he got carried. He got carried. You know, like Saquon, he has the greatest running back of all time in his backfield, one of the greatest O-lines. He's got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. The guy did nothing. Yesterday was his best playoff game he's ever had. Kudos to him. But, you know, you beat the Packers who have -1 wide receivers. And then you beat the team who took down the 0-15, 0-16 Detroit Lions. Like, I'm sorry. You beat an expansion franchise. I'm not marking this one down as a Super Bowl yet. Like, oh, Jalen Hurts, he broke the curse. Yeah, he broke the curse technically. But am I actually counting it? Hell no. I don't know how you feel about that.
This was, you know what? I feel like going into this game, we thought that Washington had a chance, but in hindsight, it was always the Eagles, bro.
But we said
it really
that.
was.
We said this though. Like
Yeah.
we were like
They had their number.
we wanted Washington to pull it off, but
Yeah, of
at the end
course.
of the day, we
We
were
don't.
saying the Eagles were probably going to win. It's the same thing when we talk about the Super Bowl. There, you know, I want the Chiefs to win just because of where my position is in this game, but deep down, the Eagles are the better team.
Yeah.
They're the better team. You know, I think the Eagles really need to look themselves in the mirror here because you have the greatest roster in the NFL right now. Greatest roster in the NFL. Stacked.
100%.
It's stacked.
Yep.
From top to bottom, defense, offense, special teams, stacked. Your kicker's iffy. Why do you have to line up in an illegal formation and have your quarterback get pushed by 4 guys to get 1 yard? Like I don't understand it. You know, like the tush push makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me because, all right, if someone catches it on the sideline and they start running through a guy and they're being held up, but they're still pushing, and then guys come in and they're pushing, they blow the whistle dead. They say forward progress. So why is Jalen Hurts and the Eagles allowed to do this push where it goes on for 5 to 8 seconds sometimes and there's no whistles? They're just like, oh, yeah, we're going to let them push. Like, I get that this play is like, oh, it's sick. Like, I wish the Cowboys could run it. I wish other teams could run it.
Buffalo
Because,
couldn't.
listen, if they could, they would, which I totally respect, and the Eagles can and they will. But it's an illegal formation, and if we're gonna call forward progress, call it consistently. Don't just call it whenever you want. Call it consistently. If someone gets held up for 1 to 2 seconds, call it. If Jalen Hurts gets held up at the line and they're still pushing and he's behind the line, don't say, oh, we're going to let him push and see if he gets across. No, it's called. Just like last night they called Josh Allen short when he was clearly across. Like I hate that this play it's just like it doesn't line up with the rest of the game.
No.
That's my biggest pet peeve with it.
Yeah. For me though, I just don't see the NFL intervening in it.
No,
I don't see them
will.
changing it. And the thing is, you know what? I give credit to Philly because they have pretty much invented this new play and it's unstoppable, which is obviously why they use it all the time, no doubt, and I get why they do it. It's just very tough to defend, but it puts more pressure on the defense. I mean, Frankie Louvu looked like he was dolphin diving into a pool half the time trying to be like Palomalu. He had the one where he stopped him, and then he just thought he was Superman after that. Did it, 2 or 3 times?
See, but that's what I mean. Like, it shouldn't come to that. Like, teams feel like they have to do that because they know that there's going to be no forward progress. Like, it's going to occur, and even if they hold him up, the refs are going to allow it to go until he gets into the end zone or he falls on the ground, which I don't agree with because when you look at it's like when refs, there's a foul in the box, right? A guy goes up for a head ball, gets run into. The ref doesn't call it because it's in the box. It's obvious if they just fall and flop. Everyone's going to think it's a PK. But if it happened at midfield, it's a foul.
It's a card.
You see what I'm saying? So if you throw a screen pass and he gets held up, but linemen get out there and start pushing, you call forward progress. So why is it that when we get into the trenches, you're going to allow it?
My thing is the only bad thing about it is I feel like that tush push is setting up just any type of offside or neutral zone infraction where it is so obvious. I think it was the second play that was called back because of Louvu, and then the third where they actually scored. Mm-hmm. The D lineman, everyone on that D line was maybe a little bit further than the head of the center, the guard,
to because of what I just said.
It's such a setup in a way where I don't think it's fair in that regard. But again, it's like you're baiting the defense to your own advantage. And I just don't see the NFL doing anything about it.
I'm not saying it's cheating. Dave Portnoy came out and he's like, this is blatant cheating. Like, it's not.
He also had $1 million on the Bills.
I get that. Well, that was a different game. Yeah. Okay. So he was in a different headspace, but it's not cheating. I just want the rules to be called the same all over the field. And now we're going to go into a game where actually it will be even. Like, okay, the Eagles should be allowed to run this play with no forward progress involved when they play the Chiefs because the Chiefs are going to have the NFL on their side. When you're playing other teams like Washington, an expansion franchise who's brand new to the NFL, has no deals with them, you can't, that play shouldn't be allowed. You see what I'm saying? And that's a joke. I know Greg and all you Eagles fans are going to be up in your panties are going to be in a huge bundle after that one. But it just needs to be forward progress needs to be called all over the field the same.
What do they do?
I hate that it's not.
What if the NFL actually looks at this over the offseason? What do they do about it? What changes do they make? Do they just do they exclude the running back and the people pushing from behind, or do they just let the quarterback just QB sneak and hope for the best?
I actually
does this work?
I thought about this because I knew that this question was going to come up. I watched the Bills game and what they do. It's one single guy, sometimes zero, pushing, right? I think that you should have to line up in what's it called, the I formation, and you should have one guy able to touch the quarterback from behind. One guy. But it has to be a real formation where the quarterback could turn around and hand the ball off. It can't be one of those where you have 3 guys like it's going to be a quarterback kneel.
Yes, I'm with there.
It can't be that because I think it's actually borderline dangerous, first of all. But second of all, if we're talking about forward progress, no referee can see the quarterback or who has the ball after it's snapped when you have 4 guys pushing them. You see, like
when do you call it?
There's just no. Make it like the onside kick. Everyone knows it's coming already, so it is like the onside kick. But have them line up where Saquon's in the backfield, he's under center, and Saquon has to run and push him. It shouldn't be like, oh, we're all going to sit here. And the moment it's snapped, we're all just going to run. Like, we have 4 guys pushing him. I think you should do it like a real man, like Josh Allen, and have one guy push you or no guys push you.
It's funny because this play It's not even like this is a, Hail Mary 60-yard deep. This is a 1-yard rush that the fans and the NFL are like, how do we stop this? It's a 1-yard rush.
But again, I'm cool with them running it. I don't want it to be we said tush push should be banned. It shouldn't be banned.
Philly would lose their mind regardless.
The way it's set up, there has to be parameters around it. Like, it's an illegal formation, first of all. Let's look at that. We allow it because the tush push and the refs everyone's just like, oh, we're going to allow the tush push, right? Because it's such a fun play. It does numbers on media. We make money from it, whatever.
And touchdowns.
That's fine. And touchdowns. A lot of touchdowns. And I'm cool with that. But there has to be parameters around it where it should be set up like the Bills had it, where it could be any type of play, and then you run it. And you can be pushed. If that's the case, the whole forward progress conversation we just had, sure, push it out the window, right? I'm cool with that. One person, play real man football. Don't play this pussy shit football that Philly's been doing for the last couple of years, where Jalen Hurts, who can supposedly squat 1,000,000 pounds, needs 7 guys to push his butt to get 1 yard. I'm sorry, but if you can squat that much, you shouldn't need that many guys. Josh Allen does it. Dak Prescott can do it. And Dak Prescott's got like half a knee, half an ankle, and no coaching and no ownership. If he can figure it out, Jalen Hurts should be able to figure it out. And I'm sure Dak Prescott can't squat that after all his injuries.
Goodell would never.
Hell, Cooper Rush could do it.
Probably. Goodell would never even try to attempt to change something based off what Philadelphia has brought to the league. Because Philly would lose their shit.
But they could still run it. Like, you just have to set it up differently. Like, you could set up
They'd still lose their shit, 100%.
Hurts is under center, you have a fullback, and then you have Saquon behind him. Like, you could set it up certain ways where it's the same play, but you're actually set up in a formation. Like, the whole thing where it's like 4 guys, and you could have literally like Ndamukong Suh and 3 other massive human beings, sumo wrestlers behind them and push them. Like, it's, if you're good at it, you're good at it. Perfect. But let's at least make it like fair. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are the only ones that
do it.
Are
perfect.
Yeah,
they're perfect at it.
You're scared to go with one guy and play real man football. That's what they're all scared. And I can't wait till Jones is just blowing it up on at the Super Bowl.
That one play makes them so much better on offense, which sounds crazy to me, but think about it. When you're holding time of possession a lot, you're running a lot of plays, you're controlling the line of scrimmage. You have your 3 downs, and now it's 4th and 1. Tush push, bam. Now the defense will stay on the field for another 4 to 5 plays, depending on what they do, if they even tush push it again. Like that simple play, I think we have overlooked the importance to it, to that, at least to the Eagles, where they're using it to just control the time clock. They're controlling possession. They're tiring out the defense, and then they just give it to Saquon Barkley, who could break off any run at any given time. Yeah, it has worked for them. And you know what? This show, at least for me, I'm actually to give the Eagles a lot of credit from top down. Howie Roseman, what he's done to bring in Saquon Barkley and bring in Mekhi Becton in, just fantastic work that he's
brought in this year is up for an award.
Zach Bond, I mean, what a hell of a fucking linebacker he is. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, he's just absolutely flattered. Like, it is flattering what he's done with this team. He's nailed almost every single draft pick in his recent classes. Nolan Smith, Nakobe Dean, who got hurt, Jalen Carter. Shout out to Jalen Carter. Mm-hmm. But just from top down, they just keep doing the same thing and they keep winning. It was utter dominance against the Commanders. Saquon Barkley, it might be the best running back I've ever seen. He is really getting up there.
We have to talk about this.
I think he is one of the best I've ever seen. And I'm
going out on a limb. I'm going out on a limb, Mike. He's the greatest of all time.
I might be with you because I know that we do have some followers who grew up in the era of Walter Payton and Barry Sanders.
That's fine.
And Adrian Peterson.
That's fine. Those old heads can sit on their old
takes.
But
the way this dude runs, and yes, he has the best O-line in the league, it doesn't matter, bro, because he just absolutely dominates. I get it. Oh, when you go to the Giants, their O-line was bad, Saquon was bad. Yeah, I get it, but when you give this dude a little bit of room to run, we talked about this yesterday. The second touchdown, A-gap, wide open. Frankie Louvu was sitting right there. Just a 90-degree cut to the right, bounce it out, scored. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a running back do that, ever. I've never seen someone have the ability, not just the power, to get the ball handed off. Frankie Louvu sitting right through the A-gap, untouched, no one's blocking him, and just to bounce it out, not only outran him, outran the corners that were also not blocked, and score.
I mean, hell, the first play of the game.
First play of the game, same thing.
First play of the game. Screen pass, gets
He's
it,
unbelievable.
runs past every single Commanders player.
I
broke some tackles. He is the best running back I have seen. And think about all the great running backs that you and I have seen in our lifetime, and then put him up against everyone else that has been in the game. If he was on a competent team with a competent coach and ownership,
this would be already solidified.
He would have had 2,000 yards every season, because the Giants are all, dude, what an embarrassment. And now they're talking about the Giants are going to go and free this summer. They're going to go get their number one wide receiver or get a number one weapon. Buddy, you had one in your building, and you let him walk. Saquon Barkley is the best running back of this era, last era, the century, the decade, all time. He is the best of all time. I don't care what any of these old heads have to say.
He's so skilled.
Dude.
He's so skilled.
Put him in any era. He's a beast, and he would win every single rushing record.
And again, I said, okay, so Jalen I think he threw for around 30 attempts last night or yesterday. And that was probably 10, like the range from 5 to 10 more than the last two playoff games. He looked great, by the way. I thought Jalen had a phenomenal game. He was accurate. He was dotting it up. Had a really good touch on the ball yesterday. So they were letting him sling it a little bit more. But that man is just carrying. Saquon Barkley is just carrying that offense. And I got to give kudos to them. I mean, Kellen Moore has got the offense dialed up, which is wild to say. He's got the offense dialed up. He knows his strengths. They're playing to their strengths, and it's working every single time. It is such a simple formula, and I'm so happy that they are just not trying to get cute and do something different, because they just don't have to. The O-line is playing out of their mind. The defense is playing out of their mind. But again, when we're talking about this game, also, real quick before I go into what the Commanders did and why the Eagles won, they take care of the football. They haven't turned the ball over. Yep. They haven't turned the ball over, and that's why they're winning games. Dallas Goedert getting jet sweeps and Calcaterra. They're running with one arm. They're securing the football. They're not fumbling. Jalen's not throwing picks because he's throwing 20 to 30 times a game. Doesn't really have to. Yes, he has complete completions. 28 times. He still hasn't broken the 30 mark. They take care of the football. On the other side of the ball, listen, credit to Washington. I thought they had a really great season. No one expected them to be here.
Every fumble. Holy shit.
They had 3 turnovers. Again, turnovers. That defense for the Eagles are balling. But Austin Eckler.
That was a huge one. The Austin Eckler one changed the whole game.
They were driving.
Yep. If they score any points, if they get a field goal or a touchdown, this game looks completely different. Once they gave that away and the Eagles went down, I think that was the A.J. Brown touchdown.
Yeah, that was.
I think so.
And it was over after that.
It was too big a gap. I think it was a 15-point game then. It was over. There was no catching the Eagles at that point.
It's just turnovers. Turnovers are, especially for the NFC side, because we've seen it in every single Birds game played. But my God, man, you got to give. They're doing everything right. Mm-hmm. They're doing everything right, and they have a real shot to beat the Chiefs, man. If they just continue to keep playing the way they are playing, they have an absolute shot to beat them. And you just got to keep doing the same thing. When it comes to the Washington Commanders, they are just a couple of good pieces away from being a really good team. Get the man B-Rob. He stinks. He stinks. I am so sick of people hyping this dude up because he got shot. The dude, thank God he's alive, but he is not good.
Yeah.
He is not good. Their running game was non-existent. Every time they gave him the ball, 2-3 yards, tackle for loss, not even a yard. There was no sense of running game in this game, and that's what hurt them. Jaden Daniels dropped back over 50 times. You're not going to win games when you're dropping back that much.
If we want to get into the Commanders real quick in this game, who said this all year? Who said that their demise was coming?
But an NFC chip,
Mike, I don't care.
You didn't even think they were going to make the playoffs.
That's fine. I don't care when they lost. It's about the way they lost. Daniel Quinn is a serial loser. Let's go back and look at what he did in Dallas last year. In his last game in charge, what did he do? He gave up nearly 50 points to the Green Bay Packers at home. Now, I know they were on the road yesterday, but how many points did they give up? 55. Dan Quinn, when was your last Super Bowl? Oh, it was with the Falcons. What did you do? You gave up one of the most embarrassing second halves known to man. and you lost to the New England Patriots. You had that game in hand. All you had to do was put up some amount of points and stop maybe 2 or 3 drives, and you couldn't even do that. Yesterday, what did you do? You had this game in hand. You had this game. It was right there for you, and you gave up 55 points. Everyone told you one thing you had to do to stop this team. And what did you do? First play of the game, your defense, you're a defensive guru. Everyone's like, Dan Quinn is such a good defensive
guru.
He's so good at calling a defense.
They called Adam Gase the offensive guru.
Dan Quinn last year, he should have been defensive coach of the year. Oh, what did you do? You gave up 50 points to the Packers in a must-win game. And then on this game, you give up like an 80-yard touchdown to the one guy who could hurt you, Saquon Barkley, on the first play of the game. And all you had to do was stand there with your hands on your hips, just like you did last year in Dallas. And then you went on to give up 21 in the fourth quarter to give up 55 points. Dan Quinn is a serial loser. Any Washington fan that thinks you have any type of shot at winning something ever, you're lying to yourself. All those fans that traveled to Hard Rock should get refunds from Dan Quinn because he is overpaid for what he's doing. To give up 55 points in every single game that is important is embarrassing. Like, oh, sweet. Dan Quinn, you beat the 0-16 Detroit Lions to get to the NFC Championship. Real cool. You beat the laughingstock of the NFL. This Washington team is embarrassing to me. You really thought you had a chance with Cliff Kingsbury, who he did so good in Arizona. Oh, he's so good. He went from Texas Tech to Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray and did jack shit at both schools.
Kyler problem.
Listen, Mike. Was Cliff the one that drafted Kyler?
No.
Was he drafted before Cliff?
He was a head coach. He didn't draft him. He was a GM. I'm kidding. I don't know. I think he came in when Kyler was drafted and then came in.
Yes. So he chose Kyler Murray. He chose to have a quarterback that can barely see over.
Dude stinks.
He can barely see over this table, Mike.
Mm-hmm. He stinks too.
And then he comes to Washington. Generational quarterback he's got there.
Can we stop throwing out these terms? I hate when people guru. Guru is one of them. They called Adam Gase an offensive guru. Dude.
Listen, Mike.
Almost got assassinated by being gassy.
Everyone knows that I was calling him a defensive guru with sarcastic undertones.
I hope so.
Right? No, Jaden Daniels. Yes, he is very.
But
good.
every analyst though they use that. It's when you come to the draft.
Every analyst did not sit on what's his name?
Dan Quinn.
What?
Dan Quinn?
No. I'm saying every analyst didn't talk about Jaden Daniels being like the next coming of
Orlovsky was the only one that was
Patrick Mahomes. Dan Orlovsky is the only one that had the knowledge to say, oh wait, this guy won a Heisman. You don't just win a Heisman for nothing.
Yes.
Like I know I even said like this was a weird Heisman because I feel like he didn't really win something. But when you look at what he did at LSU and now what he's doing in the NFL, this kid's a problem. He doesn't have all he has is Scary Terry. You know, his old heads that were supposed to help him yesterday kind of let him down. Zach Ertz had a few big drops.
He had a good game.
He had a very good game, but he had a few drops.
He had the one-hander.
I was just shaking my head. Like, why are you not using 2 hands? But going back to Dan Quinn here, because I had to give some flowers to Jaden Daniels. Very good kid, very good player. Mom said he's not allowed to talk to girls. That's crazy.
Love it. Get your head in the game, baby.
Head in the game. Locked in. The only problem is his head coach sucks. Dan Quinn Dan Quinn will not get you over the line.
We could see between the lines.
He's a placeholder.
We could see between the lines. He is. Yeah. I'm with you there. He's
very much a placeholder. He's going to be gone after like
a year.
Next year when Dallas Cowboys come back with shoddy and somehow they probably win the division because the Birds can't win it next year. You know, Washington's going to come in 3rd place. If Dak Prescott stays healthy, and this draft goes maybe at a B+ for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to be pushing for the division with the Eagles. It's a fact. The Washington Commanders are not going to be in the race for the division. Yeah, they might pull a win off both teams, but at the end of the day, this isn't going to happen for Washington again. Because this team's going to look different next year. It is. It's going to probably be younger. It's going to be a little less experienced. They're not going to have that old head leadership that they had this year on the field. It might be in the locker room. It's not going to be on the field like it was this year, helping Jaden throughout the process. We said this about C.J. Stroud. Teams figure out rookie quarterbacks in year 2. It's just C.J. Stroud did very well to combat that. Got his team to the playoffs once again, which I think his future is very bright, just like I think Jaden Daniels is. But next year, teams are going to look at Jaden Daniels and they're going to say, okay, how were we able to stop him last year? And they're just going to implement that this year. Now they have 20 games, I think, of knowledge on Jaden Daniels football, they're going to look at this and say, okay, how can we stop this? Because clearly B-Rob's not going to carry him over the line like Saquon's carrying Jalen Hurts.
So much. I don't get it. What's so appealing for that guy? I don't know why I'm such a hater on him, but like I just don't see the talent, I guess. Yes, he's in the league. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
We're talking about B-Rob.
We're
right?
talking about B-Rob.
Okay, yeah. For a second, I was like, wait a second.
All right, we're going to cut the show here. But like, dude, you can't win a football game when you're running 2 to 3 yards at maximum. I think he had
3.2 yards a carry.
I think he had 1 8-yard run, maybe
3.3.
Oh yeah, okay, 3.3. Sure,
7 yards was his long.
7 yards. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Also, Mike, I mean, it's not like Austin Eckler lit the league on fire. So he averaged 1.9 with a long of 4.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think if you want to get into Commanders and what they need, I know we've kind of talked about.
Yeah, no,
this.
we can get into that.
I think for
what do they need to do to get over the line? That's what we're looking at.
I think what they need, as if we're talking about players, they got to get another receiver. I think De'Ami Brown could be a good wide receiver 3, but I think they need someone that's gonna complement Terry McLaurin. Nobody on that receiving core. They don't have a 2. So if you can get like a Luther Burden or like maybe a T-Mac if he's gonna fall, something like that, I think they'll get him. They're probably gonna have to trade up. Maybe that guy from Texas I like too.
I like him too.
But
T. Higgins,
is another one. I think that would be a very good move.
Do you think it's kind of weird that the T. Higgins drama has kind of just disappeared? Doesn't it give you the vibes that he's might be returning to Cincinnati?
I mean,
especially
just the way they
played.
Exactly. The way they ended, I mean, I think they see the vision. At least I know Jamar does it. But T. Higgins, like, it just really depends on the money situation and his financials, whatever.
You're telling me that Joe Burrow can't be, like, sliding him a few $100,000
That's what I'm saying.
The table?
It's like, dude, stay with us. We're going to revamp the defense, hopefully.
They'll be back next year.
And they'll be back, dude. Yeah. Like, that's a team I'm very high on next year. They're going to come back and they're going to win something.
Yeah, but the Commanders,
I don't know. They could use a guy like T. Higgins. They can use another. I think they need another slot guy. I feel like they don't really have a slot. Luke McCaffrey, is he really the answer? We saw glimpses, but
did he play yesterday?
I didn't even think he got a catch, but O-line,
target.
I think O-line they gotta fix that up, man, because they did have a Pro Bowl guard. I think he is a very good player. I think they definitely need a left tackle. They need to focus on the tackles and just defense. I mean, I think they have some very no-name defensive linemen that did pretty well last night. I think Frankie Lou was a stud at linebacker, and you got to keep him. He's been all over the league, and I don't get it because he's a very good player.
I think they do have to get more speed at linebacker, though.
Yeah, no.
Because when you watch the game yesterday,
like a good edge rusher.
Yeah, anytime Hurts ran or I know Saquon's a different animal, but anytime like someone ran the ball, I felt like the linebackers couldn't even get near them.
They couldn't even seal the edge, bro. Yeah. I mean, that's just credit to the Eagles O-line, but
absolutely.
They have a foundation where they can build off of. Like you have the quarterback in place. That is no question about it. You got him. It just makes life so much easier for you now because he's so young, and you could just you're bringing back Terry no matter what. I don't even know his contract's probably 50 years for fucking $5 billion.
He's a Washington whatever for life.
For life,
yeah.
Washington whatever for life. Yeah, but it's very simple. Just keep building on. Just get better. They're gonna have a good draft. Make some moves in the offseason, and they'll be back, dude. I really think so. I don't think they're gonna have that much of a sophomore slump like CJ. I think Jaden's just so much of a difference maker when it comes to his mobility. CJ doesn't really have that.
See, but I just think that a big part of this year was, they took away his weapons because there wasn't many of them.
Yes, and that's the issue for me, at least.
So all you had to do was make sure you had a few guys spying Jaden, which the Eagles did very well yesterday with that, keep him in the pocket as best they could. He was able to get away every now and then.
Too, and that worked.
They
just schemed up.
Minimizing what Jaden could do outside the pocket. And teams are going to do that. Like, he's not going to play the Eagles every week. But he's going to play a Cowboys defense that's bringing everyone back. Overshone's going to be back at the end of the season. Like, that's going to be dangerous, and he's going to have them twice a year. He's going to the Eagles twice a year. He's going to I haven't really looked into their schedule yet, but I would imagine it's similar to the Eagles and the Cowboys, which I have looked into. And he's going to be playing against some very good defenses next year. It's going to be a tough stretch of games for him where he's going to really have to step up his game and expand on it. He can't rely on, I'm going to scramble every time. He's going to have to, throw the ball away sometimes, which him and Jalen Hurts kind of suck at. if we're going to call a spade here. Jalen Hurts actually threw the ball away yesterday, and Eagles fans started cheering because they were like, holy
Thank
shit,
God.
that's growth.
that is smart.
Yeah. So I do think Jaden, I agree with you. He's not going to step back as far as Stroud
I don't.
did.
Yeah, there's no shot. It could happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
Stroud
but
also had a lot of injuries.
Stroud did have injuries as
So
well.
if Jaden
Yeah.
has injuries occur, I could see that occur. I don't want to wish bad luck on him, but I do hope.
You know what I
Washington
think?
Sucks.
I think. Go ahead. One more thing. You got it.
Last thing on what they need to add, though, they need the Lattimore trade. I don't think worked.
They tried, and I respect it.
They tried, but I don't see that working another year. Like they got to go get another corner.
Yeah, secondary is another
they
spot.
have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
It's very defensive oriented, defensive and offensive line, I think,
Yeah.
and receiver. But if we want to talk about the division as a whole, I think NFC Beast has officially arrived.
Yes.
NFC Beast is going because not only the Birds and the Commanders, but I do think the Cowboys make a comeback. I really do. I think
we had everyone injured this year.
You had everyone injured, and you had Mike McCarthy and Shoddy. Listen, do I know if Shoddy's the answer? I can't really say. I'm not saying I like the hire, but I definitely am not a fan of the hire. I'll be honest with you. But you never know. You never know in this league. He's been in the league a while. He's made it. Listen. If you could take the Jets to an AFC Championship, he was the OC at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna budge yet. I'm not gonna fucking throw him off right away. I think they just need players. It's so simple. They just need to get better on the offensive side of the ball. Then it's NFC Beast.
So
NFC Beast.
Let's dive into this. For a
Oh,
little bit
God.
here. Shoddy. Let's just do it now. Let's get it over with.
Why?
Listen, do I agree with it? No.
Nobody does.
But here's where I'm at. After scrolling Cowboys Twitter for almost a week now after the hiring.
Watch.
Like, follow, subscribe, like, follow, subscribe, like, follow, subscribe. Back to the show.
There's a part of me that genuinely thinks Shoddy is a placeholder for a Deion Sanders in a couple years. You know what I mean? Like I think Deion wasn't in a position where he could leave Colorado now, but Jerry Jones didn't want to hire a Ben Johnson, who if Ben Johnson has more likelihood to come in, and with a team that the Cowboys are right now at the end of the season, he probably could have done something with them. You bring in Shoddy, and you're looking at a 25% success rate most likely right off the bat with this team, and that gives Jerry Jones a little bit of leadway that in 2 years when Deion's ready to come to say, all right, we're going to bring Deion in.
He's 2 moves ahead.
Yeah, we can bring Deion in now. Or another top coach, whoever's there at the time. But I think Deion, because of the promises he made, couldn't come now. So in 2 years, all right, now we have Arch Manning. We draft him. And we have Deion Sanders as our head coach. I don't want to jump the gun and say it's over. Like some of these Cowboys fans, I sent you the picture of like I'm just a chill guy, but he was, and I don't want to jump the gun like some of these Cowboys fans are because, I think we're in a position where the team could be good. Like Shoddy just has to go out there and call a decent game, and the Cowboys could win close ones. You look at the Chiefs; they've won 17 consecutive one-possession games. Like the Cowboys, I think, are a team that could do that. Will they? No, but they could. Like they could go out there and win 12 one-possession games and then lose the rest, and all of a sudden we're making the playoffs somehow. Just because our defense is that good, especially once Overshown comes back, which they're saying now could be like early November, late November, which is pretty impressive for basically tearing everything. Yeah. Which I feel so bad for him. Mm-hmm. He's so good. So I just don't want to jump the gun with Shoddy. I also am waiting to see who he brings in to help him out. Because if he's able to bring in a good OC, a good DC, even if he keeps Zimmer, because I think the defense looked very good with Zimmer once they started getting guys back and healthy. Also, people are forgetting Trayvon Diggs didn't play this year. He played like 3 games, I think. That's massive. Also, Deron Bland only played 5 games. So our 2 top cornerbacks weren't playing. So you're saying we're getting shredded by the pass? No shit. We had a fucking rookie out there. He's covering A.J. Brown. You're asking a rookie to cover A.J. Brown, who he's a top 3 probably wide receiver on any team. Any year of history of football. And I don't know. I just think it was a tough year for the Cowboys. Everyone has this, everyone's down bad in Cowboys Nation. I think we always have to take a step back and say, not the greatest hire, but what could be in the future. Because I think if you hired a Ben Johnson or some of these guys, it's you're locking yourself in for 5 years.
And that's where I was going to go to. Like, I feel like Jerry knows that they might not be in a good position now. There's a lot to unpack with this Cowboys team. First off, I think now when you look at this team, I think they're realizing that you have some guys that are aging. The O-line is kind of aging. They're getting a little bit older. The defense isn't really where you want it to be. Yes, you have Micah Parsons and you have Trayvon Diggs and you have these guys who are in their prime, and you have CD in his prime. You have Dak kind of still in his prime, getting a little bit older. I think he's understanding that there's got to be some fluctuation when you need some youth to come in this team. So it's not like they're going all in right now, hiring a Bill Belichick or a Brian Flores, and like, we're going to win a Super Bowl. I think Jerry knows that we need to be patient because we've had success over the last 3 out of 4 years with Mike McCarthy. We've made it to the playoffs. We've won the division twice, I believe. You just got to, or at once. We got to be patient, and we just got to keep building. We got to keep building. We got to keep getting younger guys in, and we got to change the culture of this team because I think everybody knows what the Cowboys are. They're a good regular season team. Playoffs come, bam, what happens? Like, you know this too. I think it's a good move for now because they have. Listen, do they really have Super Bowl expectations? Let's be real here. Are you going to beat Kansas City? Are you going to beat a team like the Eagles?
Come back to me in
week 8. You beat the Lions, huh?
Come back to me in week 8.
Come back to you in week 8. Fair.
If we're 8-0, we're going to the Super Bowl.
If you're 8-0, then it's a different story.
We could be 0-8.
I think Jerry has a good mindset right now, which is so wild to say, but it's time because, dude, you've run with the same team for so long. I just think you need some new guys in there. You need some fresh, young guys on that team, like in Ashton Jetsy. I didn't think they were going to draft him, but they might do it. They might take him and just use him like Derrick Henry or Saquon. You need receivers. They need a lot, dude, and it's not even on the defensive side. The defense. They've been there. They have experience. I think they're good players. Micah Parsons, when he's there, is a difference maker on the field. That's going to change your defense.
We also didn't have DeMarcus Lawrence the whole year. He was out the entire year. He only played week 1.
Yep. And maybe Mozzie Smith can elevate himself and become a good D tackle that he was drafted to be. But it's the offense. And Schottenheimer, proven OC over the years. Yes, he's old. Yes, he's going to be in a head coaching role now. Might be a lot on his plate, but Jerry is realizing this, and I give him credit to that. Funny enough, I know Cowboys fans are going to think I'm crazy, but it's time for new players to come into the team. It's time to roll with new players and not just Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver 2 and freaking Michael Gallup if he's still even on the team, which I don't think he is. And
no, he's not.
Freaking
he retired, dude.
Did he retire?
Yeah.
Thank God, because he was getting injured all over the place. But it's time to bring in some new guys to revamp the future of the Dallas Cowboys. It's the truth. It's the truth. And he's finally realizing this. Good for him.
So I think that they actually have done well in terms of bringing in some new guys, just to rebuttal that. But here's the issue. The draft classes have not been great.
They hit on their number 1, and then after that, it's just a shit show.
No. I would argue they haven't.
What about Tyler Smith? I thought he'd been pretty good.
No, yeah. I'm saying, like, the most recent ones.
Okay.
Let's go to 2023. Mozzie Smith hasn't really done anything that we've expected him to do.
Yeah.
The second pick in the draft, Luke Schoonmaker.
Why?
What a waste. DeMarvion Overshown can't really stay on the field. Love him.
Great player.
Can't stay on the field. And then you got Fehoko, done nothing. Richard, Scott, Deuce Vaughn, Jalen Brooks. That's not a good draft class.
No.
That's a waste.
Yeah.
Unless DeMarvion Overshown can come back and be an all-pro, it's a waste. That was a wasted year of drafting because none of those guys are doing anything they do nothing of substance. They don't bring anything to the table. Honestly, you could take that list of players, remove them from the team doesn't change.
Yes.
Team doesn't change.
It's just offense. Like, dude, what was the point of drafting a Luke Schoonmaker? Like, you already have Ferguson?
I think they didn't know what they had in Ferguson then because we had Dalton Schultz at the time, but he left that year. Mm-hmm. So it was one of those, all right, let's draft him, see which one's going to be better. And Schoonmaker just still has done nothing. He played a lot more this year, but man, oh man. But that was only because Ferguson was injured. And then you look at last year's draft, Tyler Guyton,
Or Tyler Guyton, yes, not
Yeah.
Tyler Smith.
Good, but my God, does he gets a flag on him every couple plays. Nealand, he was good. He was good. I'm not gonna say he was bad. He had his games. BB, good. Still like waiting to see. Leofau, I like him a lot. Kalen Carson, I do like him a lot. Got shredded because he had to play against number 1 wide receivers for half the year. He only played 6 games. And then Ryan Flournoy was the reason why Dak had like 4 interceptions this year before he got injured. And then Nathan Thomas, Justin Rogers didn't play. They're gone. But that draft class too, it's like that's 2 in a row where you look at it, not one player's really doing anything besides Leofau, Overshown.
They can't hit on offense.
Cooper Beebe. I'll throw him in that category. So 3 guys
on defense. That's defense.
O-line.
That's O-line.
Nealon is defensive line.
Gotcha.
I think Nealon's done well. I think Beebe's done well. Leofau and Overshown. So in 2 drafts, you've had 4 guys do decent.
Yes.
But they're not even close to being, considered best in the division. And they're all starting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta start getting. Overshown's the only one in that group that you could say
definitely.
could be the best in the division at linebacker, but he can't stay on the field. So, I think this draft coming up is very important for Jerry Jones.
They have picked
because I'm not even gonna.
13,
Yeah. I'm not even gonna say shoddy with this draft. Because he's just going to be the yes man. He's going to be sitting there like a puppet, and the Joneses are going to say, "How do you feel?" And he's going to say, "Yep." He's not even going to know. He's going to be playing on his little DS that he has over in the corner. And Jerry Jones is going to sit there and he's going to do this draft by himself, essentially. And if he doesn't have a good draft this year, Cowboys Nation is going to shred him. Elon Musk, start buying the Cowboys. Get the funds ready because we have to get this old man out of there. He looks like Baby Yoda.
Yeah, it does. Emperor Palpatine.
It's just brutal, dude.
I know. And
brutal.
For me, it's always the offense for you guys. And I think you guys have players on defense, and I know you have Dak and CD, but that's it. Yeah. And I feel like that's the difference. When you have an offensive, well-oiled machine like the Birds, they got Devontae Smith, who could probably be close to a wide receiver 1 on that team. Yeah. It was bold. Yeah. But easy wide receiver 2. A.J. Brown, easy wide receiver 1. Though you have 2 stud receivers there. One of the best backs in the league. A good old line. Like, they just have a foundation on offense that takes them. Dallas Goedert, who,
dude, he is great in the run game.
He's great. He's amazing.
I don't think he gets any shine in the run game. He should be getting way more shine. And he was setting up so many runs yesterday for Saquon. It's unreal what he does in the run game. And then in the pass game, he's fantastic as well.
It's not even like he puts up the numbers. He's one of those guys where he just does his job. 3rd and 5, and they don't run the ball, he gets a first down. And he's not going to put up 8 receptions for 120 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, he'll have some of those games, but he just does what he has to do. That's kind of what you want the tight end position to be nowadays, because everyone's going back to the run now. I mean, you've seen the Ravens, you've seen the Bills, even they have a run game. You've seen the Birds, even the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone is emphasizing running the ball more than I think passing, which is wild because I think last year it was a big passing league. We thought the league was kind of changing. Dude, they're reverting right back. Every team is reverting right back to the run game. So get a good back, get some old linemen. I think you guys will be just fine. You just got to hit on them. That's it.
Yeah.
But I don't know like where the Cowboys, like in the terms of Shoddy, because he's a head coach, is he going to call the plays? Are they going to bring in an OC? I don't know where they go from there. I think Shoddy will probably call the plays and try to do both. I think it's going to be too much to handle. I don't think he should, but Jerry's call at the end of the day. Man, we really got into the Cowboys shit.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
It was always going to happen, but let's move on. We are an hour into this show. We have not even talked about the Chiefs and the Bills.
Okay, come on.
All right, so the Chiefs taked out the Bills in a referee shit show.
Can't get away with this.
Where do you want to start here? Do you want to start with the Chiefs or the Bills?
Let's start with the Bills. Here. I
feel so bad for Josh Allen.
He doesn't deserve this shit.
He doesn't. It's not even his fault.
It's not.
He was over the line.
The Chiefs are the Dodgers. Let's just call it the spade a spade. The Chiefs are the Dodgers, and they are going to be tough to beat. The Bills, I thought the run game was good. The defense did what they had to do. They tried, but They were letting Mahomes was dinking and dotting them. 8.3 yards per pass.
Josh Allen was over the line.
Josh Allen was over the line, dude. The Xavier Worthy, and again, when you talk about the Chiefs, the flags are going to be included, of course, and the referees. The Xavier Worthy catch, number one, that was
Did it not hit the ground? It hit the
bounced
ground.
off the ground.
It hit the ground.
But like, it's not even it's not even that they reviewed it. Like, if you look at the penalties, like Buffalo, I think had 6 for like 50 something yards. The Chiefs had 5. Yeah. So they were calling some against the Chiefs, but when the crucial moments happened, there was no help for Buffalo.
But that's what it's always been. It's always been like it's even. It's even. The penalties are even. Yeah, but they're even because you're calling the Bills for stuff in the first quarter.
And Kincaid.
And then the Chiefs are all, dude, he's got to catch it. Hits him in the hands. You hit him with both hands. But I swear these refs go under the cover, and in their headphones you have Roger going, just do whatever you need to do to get Taylor Swift to the Super Bowl. It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel so bad for Josh. They need to get him weapons. Mm-hmm. He needs a wide receiver 1. You can't have a slot receiver, your wide receiver 1.
He played a little sloppy in the first half too. I thought he had some good throws. I think the first quarter, I would say, definitely a little sloppy. I think he was getting the jitters out. The first possession, I mean, right off the bat, almost 2 picks. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when it comes to the tush push and everything, and the receivers that he had, like, dude, when you're throwing a Mac Hollins, like, look, come on, man. Like, they need weapons too. They need help all over the receiving core because they have a bunch of journeymen on that team besides Keon Coleman. I think the flags hurt them on both sides, themselves and with the Chiefs. That is so hard to overcome, and they got so close too. Like, you knew when the Chiefs had the ball, when it was 29-29, they were scoring no matter what. Even when they had the ball, like pretty much the last possession, the Bills had 3 timeouts. You knew they were getting the first. It was a given. They were getting the first, but he does need help. And I feel for him, man, because he's doing everything he can. But
yeah,
I
don't know how you felt. I didn't agree with what Joe Brady was calling in goal.
Yeah,
I felt like he was very obvious in what he was doing.
100%.
It was very predictable. You knew,
especially his 2-point conversions.
Yeah, you knew Josh Allen was going to get the ball in his hands, and you knew he was going to try and run up the middle off the left guard. It's the same play every time, and the Chiefs were ready for it. They just stacked everyone over there. Mm-hmm. Eventually you got to do a little play action. Get Mac Hollins was on one yesterday. Just keep tossing him the ball. He's got the hot hands. Just figure out a way to get him the ball. Get clear. Figure out like some trickery. Ben Johnson does it in his sleep. You've done it all year. And then in the biggest moment, you just went to Josh Allen up the middle. I didn't understand it. It was frustrating.
And that's the thing about, we can go back to the tush push, but when you believe that your team is good enough to just get a 1-yard play, and even the Chiefs know it's coming, they were getting stopped, except for the one where he was clearly over. Clearly a first down.
Clearly over. But literally, there was a third of the ball over that line.
Yeah. It's sad to see, man, because no one, I think everybody now, it's just, they're the new Patriots, and they are the dynasty to beat. And hey, listen, Andy Reid out-schemed at the end of the day. And what was my key to the game? Find a way to put fucking Andy Reid in checkmate. And they didn't do it.
Yep.
They didn't do it. He does that shit in his sleep.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the Chiefs here. I think Mahomes was vintage Mahomes, dude. I'm telling you, I know we hate this team, and I know the flags and the refs have been the biggest story about the Chiefs for the last 4 to 5 years. But when the playoffs come, man, he does it. He did it last year. He did it this year. They weren't the hottest team in the regular season. Granted, they finished 15-2, but there were a lot of games that they were given. Everyone knows this. But when the playoffs come to Kansas City, the dude just finds ways to get it done.
Dude,
year in and year out.
The GOAT.
And you know what though? I hate to even bring that up, because when I see the way that this team gets bailed out with the flags, it's like, is he even going to be in the GOAT category anymore? Like, should he even be considered a close GOAT? Because I thought so. Last year when they won the Super Bowl, the 2 years ago where he made that run, I'm like, this dude is on the right path to becoming the next GOAT.
Can I read you something?
Go ahead.
17 consecutive one-possession games this year. 9 straight AFC West championships. 3 straight AFC conference championships.
Can't let that go unnoticed.
Going to their 3rd straight Super Bowl, going to be the first ever to three-peat if they win. He gets it done year after year after year. They'd be going to their 4th if they could have beat the Bengals. What was that, 4 years ago now? 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
If they could have beat the Bengals, they're going 6 because they went the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, Tom Brady was doing the same things at a worse clip, I would say. Patrick Mahomes is doing it now. And everyone was saying Bill Belichick's the GOAT. Bill Belichick's the GOAT when he was doing it. When are we going to say that about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Because they're doing it, and they're doing it better.
I think he's very close.
They're doing it better.
And think
because
about
when
it.
you look at these guys, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Burrow, Peyton Manning. And then you got Lamar Jackson, who the Ravens, I'm just going to push to the side. They're a joke. How many years are we going to – they're the Cowboys of the AFC.
Yeah,
How many years are we going to say that do the
bad day.
same things over and over and over again with no success? You could bring in whoever you want. You ain't going to win. They're going to be the Cowboys in about 15 years. But that's the picture that you have right now. And what is happening, it's the same thing that Brady did at a better clip. He's not letting Ben Roethlisberger get to a Super Bowl and win. He's not letting Josh Allen do that. He's not letting Joe Burrow take him down other than that 1 year to get to a Super Bowl. So if we're looking at Peyton Manning, right? He did it. Peyton Manning had 3 Super Bowls at the end of it, right?
I think 2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3. He's not letting Joe Burrow get there other than that one time. Right? Yeah, because I think he had the
2. There's the Colts and the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he let Joe Burrow get there once, right? He's not going to let Joe Burrow get there again.
No.
We'll see next
Hey,
year.
this is why they let Denver
see.
beat them on week 18.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
chestnut checkers, bro. Again,
He's
is
doing
a mastermind.
it at a better clip, and he's not
Brady's a
letting these
mastermind.
other guys who are supposed to be in the AFC best quarterback conversation even touch him. He's not letting him get close to him. These guys that Tom Brady let get close to him, and guys were like, "Oh, are they the better quarterback in the AFC?" It's never going to be that because Patrick Mahomes never lets it be that.
And Andy Reid.
When it matters, he wins.
They tanked on purpose that game. They did not want Bengals. They did not want Cincy in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And I don't blame them. I know you had some backlash over it, but I'm like, hey, listen, that's the team that nobody wants to see. I don't blame him for not letting him in. You would rather, I guess, you would rather see Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, but Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, you've beaten them 4 straight times in the playoffs now.
Yep.
But when you talk about real quick in the GOAT conversation, we had the same avenue as Brady when we talked about his position as a GOAT quarterback.
Bro,
The
Brady
team-
let Mark Sanchez almost get there.
I know. Like the team that wild. The team that he had, a lot of flags. The flags were going New England's way. Very good coach. But when we talk about that offense that they run, I think they are so similar because they had a good run game. They were utilizing the jet sweep a lot. They both had a really good tight end. They don't have to do much. They just have to find their players. Mm-hmm. Brady just had to find Edelman. They had very good timing, which really helped the cause.
And Gronk.
I think Mahomes is the same thing. You have Xavier Worthy. You just got to have good timing with him, find him, deliver him a good pass.
Dude, the
good
similarities are crazy with this team because he's got Kelsey.
It's a blueprint, bro.
It's a blueprint.
It's a copycat league at the end of the day, and you got to give them credit. I mean, they do it year in and year out. This is not the Super Bowl America wants, and I am beside myself about this. Crazy enough, I have to. No, I'm not.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
I'm rooting for Saquon Barkley.
So let's talk about this Super Bowl real quick, and then we'll get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Meatballs is back here. Mikey Marsala, Mikey Margarita, because you get 10% off your entrees at Mesa Modern Mexican in Easton, PA. So come in, say what's up to me. I'll make you a drink. Go on Sunday. Go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday to Fridays, happy hour 4 to 6. And I will be there most of those days. Good entrees, enchiladas, shrimp and scallop, the freaking brisket, the pork relleno. There are so many good options on this menu. You got to come in. Use the B Team podcast. You get 10% off. You get to see me. Maybe Muller will be there on a good day. He's usually slinging content out in this cave here. So come to Mesa. Use the discount. Like, follow, subscribe. Back to the show.
Eagles versus Chiefs, Super Bowl in NOLA, February 9th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a fantastic game.
Absolutely.
And I think the right two teams are in it. Like, and Eagles fans are going to sit here and
Well
be
deserved.
Like, Muller's going to cheer for the Chiefs, blah, blah, blah. Like, they were saying it last night that like I was going to cheer. Listen, if the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl playing the Chiefs, who would Eagles fans cheer for?
The Chiefs.
Thank you. So, yes, I will be cheering for the Chiefs. That doesn't mean I think they're going to win.
It's so like
weird
with the
I
Birds
think
jersey
the
on. I am
Eagle-
going to cheer for the Chiefs.
I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
Imagine some random
they're
was
the better
watching
team.
this and was like, I am going to cheer for the Chiefs, and you're wearing that. They're like, dude, what the fuck is this guy?
I'm posting this clip. So, the Chiefs are who I am cheering for in this Super Bowl because I have to. I can't cheer for the Eagles. But I think that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. I really do. I just think that this run game is too dominant. I think Jalen Hurts has so much help around him between the O-line, wide receivers, tight end, defense, running back. You have too many guys on your team, and Nick Sirianni, don't want to leave him out, to lose this game. I really do. I know you're playing Patrick Mahomes, who we just said we think could be the GOAT, Andy Reid, who we just said could be the GOAT. This defense that's playing fantastic, looked very good, stopped the tush-push almost every time last night. But I think at the end of the day, talent will win you the Super Bowl. I think, the Chiefs have all the pedigree in the world. I'm going to be cheering for them. But I think it's going to be too much this year. Too much even for the Chiefs. I'm cheering for the Chiefs.
Good.
Chiefs money line.
So if you guys have seen, I've talked about it on the Instagram. I've taken everyone that is, played the Birds. I've taken the Packers. I've took the Rams. I took the Commies. Here we are. We are in the Super Bowl, and we're going to New Orleans, and we have the Birds, and we have the Chiefs. For the sake of two guys from the Lehigh Valley that are now in a Super Bowl, I am going to take the Chiefs with the spread because I'm going to fade them. I'm going to fade them, and I'm going to give as much good luck I can to the Birds. Crazy enough, this is not the Super Bowl we want. But when you have two guys that we played against, either in basketball, either in football, that are now on the big stage and probably the biggest sporting event in the world to do it, we're going to do it. And I'm going to take the Chiefs, and I'm going to give the Eagles my good luck. I truly believe you, though. If that's out the window, I'm with you. I think talent at the end of the day wins it. Jalen Hurts is the X factor in that game. Mm-hmm. He is going to be the X factor. The Chiefs are going to stop Saquon. I'm calling it now. I would definitely be careful with his over props in that game. They're going to do everything in their power to stop Saquon Barkley. That is their offense. They are not idiots. They are going to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball. They are going to make him make plays, scramble, try to find A.J. Brown, try to find Devontae Smith. They're good enough where they can get open and separate and create separation. It's on Jalen Hurts. It's on Jalen Hurts, and Kellen Moore needs to call a fucking good game.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
It is such an offensive game for them, which sounds crazy because I think the defense is good. I think they're going to do well. I think that defensive line is so strong where they're going to disrupt Mahomes a lot.
They have murderers on it.
Yes. Now, that being said, when it comes to the defense, they need to play clean. They don't make it chippy. Don't exert your dominance. Don't make it chippy. Don't make stupid, uncalled, unnecessary roughing the passer penalties. Unnecessary roughness, whatever. Play clean football. It got chippy in Philly last night when they played the Commanders. You got to play clean football here. Don't cause unnecessary penalties. That's their biggest thing. I think the secondary is going to be fine. They got to stop Worthy. They don't let him go over the top. They're going to run. I think they're going to run a lot of cover two. They're going to go a lot of man, in my opinion. And then Travis Kelce, I think you could stop him. It's no issue. Just sit. He's going to sit soft in the coverage. Don't let him get more than 4 or 5 yards on a catch. But it's penalties. Don't commit stupid penalties and play clean football. Again, the playoffs have come down to turnovers. Whoever turns the ball over the most is going to lose the game, besides the Chiefs game last night and the Chiefs game against the Texans, because I think it was very even. But the Eagles can take care of the football. They're very clean. They don't fumble. Jalen Hurts has not thrown picks. If they commit turnovers, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot, and Kansas City is going to run away with it. Same thing, not on the other end for Kansas City. Say they commit two turnovers to Eagles 0. I still think they find a way to get back and win. It's more on the Birds and their own destiny. Don't turn the ball over. Playing clean football. Play clean. Jalen Carter, you got to be smart down there, man. Don't cause unnecessary penalties.
Yes.
I think they win it too, though. But I am taking the Chiefs for superstition.
I think I'm going to take the Eagles money line. I'm just going to hammer them.
How are we doing the mortals? Well, obviously,
I
we're
think-
not doing rapid fire.
I think you and I should just do one mortal.
One mortal?
No, like
Oh, dude,
combined.
we
Like
can't.
together.
All right.
I think we decide on one together.
All right.
I think we decide on one. And it's just
It,
like
it can't
we
be.
go
Well,
heavy.
what do you want? Do
I
you
don't know.
want the birds to
we
lose?
we have 2 weeks to discuss this.
All right. All right.
We'll
we can
figure it
leave
out.
at that. I like that.
Yeah. So, all right.
It's a long one.
You
We
good?
2 games.
I know.
We got a lot of stuff coming up, by the way. So 2 weeks from now, the Super Bowl will happen. We have some footage coming out. Remember, like, follow, subscribe. Mesa, go visit. 10% off your entrees. I would love to see you guys there. I know pretty much most of the followers that support our podcast. Come through. Come chill with me. I'll be there Wednesday. So it's all
There we go.
good
Can't
shit.
wait.
Good stuff.
All right.
Another year almost down the drain, Muller. Great work.
I know.
Yet
I know.
again.
We just keep on grinding.
And then we pivot to the best season of all time.
Golf season.
Bam.
Can't wait.
God,
Can't
let's
wait.
do it. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Thanks for the birthday wishes.